To me, what democratic socialism means is to do what many other countries in Europe and Scandinavia are doing. And that is to provide health care to all people as a right without deductibles, without co-payments. That's democratic socialism to me. What democratic socialism means to me is that regardless of your income, if you want to get a higher education in this country, you should be entitled to do that. Democratic socialism means that if we bailed out the crooks on Wall Street 10 years ago, you know what? We can cancel student debt in this country today. We have the resources to do that. So basically what it means, and you're right, I think there will be some confusion, but what it means to me is we have got to end the drift toward oligarchy. You know what I mean by that in this country? Where you have three people owning more wealth than the bottom half of America, where you have a handful of billionaires with incredible economic and political power. And we have to create a government and an economy that works for all, not just the 1%.
Our generation is paying the price for failed leadership on climate, on student loan debt, on gun violence, and not ending it. And it's going to take the next generation
Was
to make
that
sure we do
directed
something.
towards Biden?
It was directed to anyone who's been around for a long time and sees these problems still persisting. So I think our best, as a party, we have always won when we go in one direction, forward.
We shouldn't be debating Hyde in 2019 on a debate stage for the Democratic primary. In fact, we shouldn't be compromising on women's rights, and leaders of both parties have spent decades compromising on women's health, and we need a president who, when they walk into that Oval Office and Mitch McConnell goes in to try to negotiate something, that when that door closes, that women's rights will not be compromised.
In terms of getting universal health care, which I support, right? I wrote a letter to the editor of a small New England newspaper in 1978 saying health care is a right, not a privilege. I've never backed off on that, but I propose similar to what Mayor Buttigieg says, that you have a public option, something like Medicare, maybe Medicare Advantage, and people who can't get private insurance or they don't like their private insurance, they migrate to it. As that scales up and becomes larger, the price comes down, the quality improves, more people migrate. You could end up in 10 or 15 years with Medicare for all, but it would be an evolution and not a revolution.
Well, because women in general are paid 80 cents on the dollar. Black women, 61 cents on the dollar. Latinas, 53 cents on the dollar. This is how I think about the issues, and these will always be my priorities.
Do you think